Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NFL Predictions. We're doing Week 13. It's crazy. It's already Week 13. This time, I'm joined by Justin. Matthew's no longer with Benchwire. If you missed the last video, go check that one out. He pretty much resigned. He's no longer here anymore, but it's okay. I got a new co-host. His name's Justin. How we doing, Justin?
What's up? I'm doing great. What's up, fam? How we doing? Benchwire game. We here.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Welcome, J-Dog, to the Benchwire fam. So, yeah, you know how this works. We're going to do predictions. We're going to talk about the games for a little bit. This video could be 10 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It depends how long we talk about the games. It really doesn't matter to me. So, if you want this to be short, we can make it short. If you want it to be long, we can make it long. We'll figure that out. So, you ready? He's ready.
We'll give you the best analysis you'll hear on the internet.
Oh, for sure. It's just two college kids talking about the NFL. That's what this podcast and YouTube channel is all about. All right, let's get started. Here we go. So, Thursday Night Football. We got a fun little matchup. Two playoff teams right now going at it in the NFC. We got the Seahawks, who are 6-5, going up against the Dallas Cowboys, 8-3. Justin, who do you got in this matchup? And let me know why.
Oh, man, as much as it pains me, I do got the Dallas Cowboys winning this game. Dak's right. I got to ride the hot hand of Dak. Dak's been playing at MVP level. CD's been popping off. Tony Pollard's been playing great. The defense has been flying around. Micah Parsons, Deron Bland, six pick sixes. That's unbelievable too. Yeah, and they got to keep up with the Eagles for first place in the division, also first place in the conference potentially. So, yeah, they have to keep up. So this is a big game for them. I think they do answer the call here. I think they do knock off the Seattle Seahawks.
I can't agree with you more, man. I believe the Dallas Cowboys, they got a pretty good roster and one of the best in the NFC. I'll say they're one of the top three teams in the NFC right now. Like, they got a defense, they got a great offense, and the special teams. Brandon Aubrey has been one of the best kickers in the league. I got him on my fantasy squad. Like, he's been delivering. I don't think he missed a kick yet so far in his NFL career, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm showing the kicker some love. Respect the kickers, man. Respect the kickers. But other than that, yeah, Dak Prescott has been playing like an MVP, right? CeeDee Lamb's been playing like a top 5 receiver. Like, they've been showing up. I know they haven't beat any winning teams, but this could be a chance where they can beat a winning team. So the opportunity is there on Thursday night. Will they do it? I believe they do. Justin believes they will win as well. Yeah. So, yeah, we both got the Cowboys beating the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. So, yeah.
Also, the Seahawks not having Kenneth Walker. Not having Kenneth Walker's big, too.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, and then what's that run it? Charbonnet.
Who I think he's good. I think he'll catch some passes. I think he'll
not Kenneth Walker, though.
Obviously, they have DK. They got some passers, but I think the defense just can't contain the offense, the Cowboys' offense right now. So that's why I give the edge to the Cowboys, and just the other external factors of just keeping up with the Eagles and the 49ers.
Yeah, so we both got the Cowboys. Now let's transition over to some two crappy teams right now. The 4-7 Chargers are going up against the 2-9 Patriots. Who do you got in this matchup? Let me know.
I got to pick the Chargers. I don't think there's any sign of life with the Patriots anymore. You got Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's been playing pretty well, even though the offense is kind of struggling. Like, Austin Eckler's been fumbling the ball, but Keenan Allen's been balling. I think they do respond. I think they're both coaches. I know it might be mutual, but Belichick and Kraft might part ways, and Staley looks like on the hot seat. So it's a must-win for Staley. I think it is in New England, but I think that doesn't matter. I think the Chargers roll in. They're the more complete football team, and I think they win. They win by a considerable margin.
Okay. I got another question for you. So if the Chargers lose this game, do you think Brandon Staley is canned after this game, or do you think he lasts the season?
If you lose this game, I think that would warrant that would justify the ownership, the front office decision to to can him, to fire him. I think if he loses this, his chances of lasting the whole season goes down.
All right. Yeah, I think if the Chargers lose this game, Brandon Staley will be fired. It is well overdue, and I do have the Chargers winning this game. I think they will beat the Patriots. Patriots, man, they do not look good offensively. I don't know if it's the roster. I don't know if it's Bill O'Brien calling the plays, but Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi can't get it done. And their rookie kicker sucks. He missed the kick to go to overtime. I don't know if Bill Belichick told him to miss the kick so they could get a higher draft pick, but yeah, that was just a crappy game of Giants Patriots. When that rivalry is pretty good, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. That was a crappy game. But yeah, Chargers, they need to win this game. It's a must-win game. You know, Justin Herbert, I still feel like he could be a top 5 quarterback in this league. I think, you know, coaching is not helping him. They do have all the weapons on offense. They got a nice offensive line that's young and talented. They just can't put it together. I think you got to get rid of Staley. Even if you win this game at the end of the season, like, this game doesn't matter if you even lose or win. Like, you got to get rid of Staley. He is not the guy, and you got to find a better offensive-minded coach for Justin Herbert to succeed and, you know, be your future. Right now, I would say Justin Herbert and Phillip Rivers, so far, you know, their careers are pretty comparable. Like, they're both good quarterbacks. They're just stuck on the Chargers. They can't get over the hump because they're on the Chargers. So I think the Chargers win this game. Patriots look pathetic, and the Chargers will win. Said and done.
I feel bad for Mac Jones a little bit too. I still think there's a good quarterback there, but I think what happened was last year with Patricia and Joe Judge calling it just messed with him, and Bill O'Brien's trying to kind of undo it, and it's just not clicking
It's
right
too
now.
late.
So
it's too late.
yeah.
Let's go to the next game, right? So we got the Lions going up against the Saints. The Saints are kind of doo-doo. The Lions, they've been looking pretty good, but they lost on Thanksgiving. They're still a solid team, one of the top NFC teams right now at 8-3. Got to give credit to Dan Campbell. Justin, who you got in this game? I think I know who you got, but like I want to confirm who you got in this game.
No, I got the Saints. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna go with the Lions. Just because they need to get back on track, and I think this is a winnable game. Their cars have been kind of turning the ball over. Their offense isn't playing up to standard as they had in the past few weeks. So I think this is a Lions game that they'll win. I think they'll play better. I do think that it will be kind of high scoring game. I do think that offense with Kamara and Olave, they'll put up points, but I think with the Lions, with Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson calling the plays, they'll put up their fair share of points. I do think it will be a relatively higher scoring game, but I do have the Lions edging it out in this one.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree more. The Lions are the better team. They're going to get the job done. The Saints are doo-doo. Derek Carr just is very inconsistent, and he has to change that if he wants to be the guy there in New Orleans. I don't know. Do you fire Dennis Allen? I feel like Dennis Allen, he's an all-right coach, but I don't feel like he's a guy that's going to take you to the promised land. And you have a decent roster. I just don't know if he's the right guy.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think probably. I think they probably will. I don't think the defense has been playing up there, and there are guys that are just good. I think when he was with Sean Payton, he was a good coordinator, but I guess like when it comes to like leading the team and being a motivator, I don't really know if that's Dennis Allen. So I'm not gonna say they need an offensive coach. I think they need just someone that can motivate the guys. So it could be a defensive guy that gets the defense flying around again, but just someone to lead them, someone to be a voice in the locker room, steer the ship, so to speak. But yeah, it's very likely that he'll get fired. And I saw that Schefter said that there might be like, it was related to the Saints, but there might be like 7 to 10 head coaching changes. So there might be like 7 to 10 firings, which is a lot. So the Saints could potentially be one of those teams, and it'll be interesting to see if they do hold on to Dennis Allen or they move a different direction to try to help Derek Carr out, or maybe they want to draft someone later to help them out too, like a quarterback. there. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, what direction they go in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if Dennis Allen's the man. There's going to be a lot of great candidates out there. It depends if they like someone better that's a candidate or they like Dennis Allen more. That's what's going to be at the end of the day. But yeah, back to the game. We both have the Lions winning over the Saints. Now let's talk about another game. We got the Falcons going up against the Jets. This is a weird one. I don't know who I have to pick right now to win. So I'll let you pick first and then I'll decide.
This is a tough one. I think what do I want? Who do I think? All right, I'm going to pick the Falcons here. I do believe if they can get Bijan going, if the Jets don't hone in on him and they let him do his thing, if Arthur Smith lets him, gives him more of the carries than Algier, and they go to Drake London and they go to a Kyle Pitts, they use their playmakers. I think they can pull it off. I don't see. They don't need to move the ball a lot. They just need to put up a decent amount of points. Maybe like 10 points gets the job done. I think the Jets are still starting Tim Boyle. I don't really see them moving the ball that much on the Falcons defense, really. So I do, because of that. The Jets defense is very respectable. They got playmakers. They got Sauce. They got C.J. Mosley. They got why am I blanking on his name? Quinnen Williams, who's been a stud. They've been studs on defense, no doubt. But I do when it matters. If the Falcons defense can get turnovers and the Falcons offense have short fields to work on, they could win this game, and they don't need many points to do that. So give me the Falcons, and they'll still stay on the top of the NFC South.
I agree with you. I think the Falcons right now, I don't trust the Jets offensively. Like, if you're starting Tim Boyle and you got Trevor Siemian backing him up, like, that's not a good offense to put out there on the field. I think with that being said, they're not going to score that many points. And the Falcons, I think they will outscore the Jets, meaning they'll win the game. So, yeah, give me the Falcons over the Jets. Get Bijan more involved. He's been more involved. He's been producing. He's been like a first-round pick that you drafted him to be. So, yeah, Arthur Smith, utilize your playmakers. Utilize Kyle Pitts. Utilize Bijan. If you could do that, then you'll win this game. I just don't trust the Jets right now offensively to pick them. If they had maybe Aaron Rodgers, that'd be a different story. But that's why he might come back in a few weeks. So, yeah, that's why I got the Falcons over the Jets. Let's transition to the Cardinals going up against the Steelers. Now, the Cardinals, they just haven't had a great season. They did win 1 out of 2 games with Kyler Murray back in the lineup. But the Steelers, they've been winning. They've had some wins, and they're not looking like a bad team right now. I believe they are in the playoffs at the moment. So who do you got winning this game?
I believe the Steelers are a 6th seed right now, if I'm not mistaken. They're either 5th or 6th. I know Colts have that 7th spot right now. But I'm going to pick the Steelers home game. Mike Tomlin, I think we have to consider him as coach of the year. Every year, he finds a way to stay above 500. Yeah, what he does is impressive. You got to give him credit for that. I just think for the Cardinals offense, the Steelers defense is going to be a little bit too much. They got T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, Pat Peterson, my guy Joey Porter. They got those guys flying around making plays. And I think the big test for the Steelers is, and what we'll find out to learn a lot about them, is if firing of Matt Canada, the new play calling, if that they've put up last week their first, I guess, 400-yard performance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Over the Bengals, and
it's a crazy stat.
The problem with the Bengals, they give up a lot of explosive plays. So it's like, okay, is it the play calling or is it the Bengals defense just gives up the explosive plays? It gives up a lot of yards. So we'll find out a lot about the Steelers defense, but in the play calling, see if that's better. But at the end of the day, the Steelers are the more complete team, the more talented, the better coached team. They should definitely win this game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Steelers, man, like, they've been winning games. I'm surprised that they have this many wins. I don't think they'll go far in the playoffs just because they're still in the middle of a rebuild. It's a second year with Kenny Pickett, but like Mike Tomlin and the team find ways to win, and you got to respect that. And that's why Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere soon. So you got to respect Mike Tomlin for that. The Cardinals, they're in a weird spot right now. Like, You got Kyler. He's a franchise guy, but like, do you move off of him? Do you draft a young guy
Yeah.
and just hit the reset button? Like, there's a lot of question marks there at the Cardinals team. Is Jonathan Gannon the right guy? Personally, me and Justin, I know that for a fact, do not think that Jonathan Gannon is the right guy for the Arizona Cardinals. So there's a lot of question marks there. They got a new GM. I don't know what they're going to
Yeah,
do,
he
but
could be a one and done too.
yeah, he's another candidate that could be one and done. But right now, all I could say is the Steelers are going to win this game. So yeah, let's move to the next game. It's a nice divisional matchup. We got the Colts going up against the Titans. Right now, the Colts are in the playoffs. So with that being said, with the Colts being in the playoffs, the Titans in the middle of a rebuild right now. Will Levis is trying to be the franchise guy. Who do you got winning this game?
Oh, this is a tough one. Division games are always tough. You know what? I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take the Titans. I do like Mike Vrabel. I do like his coaching. I think Derrick Henry's starting to come around. He had a big week last week. I think if they could establish the run, and I do believe Derrick Henry does play really well against the Colts. I don't know what it is, but he always finds a way to run the ball. I think Will Levis has been playing relatively well. And I think the defense could do enough to hold Gardner Minshew. Now, if it was Anthony Richardson back there, I think I would different story. I might pick the Colts, but I think if they can stop that. And no Jonathan Taylor too. It'd just be Zach Moss. I think I do give Shane Steichen a lot of credit. He's been calling the plays really well. He's been a good coach, and he has his team positioned the 7th seed. But I do division games are a toss up, and just with the experience of Mike Vrabel, Derrick Henry, and those guys, I think the Titans just barely edge one out.
You brought up a lot of great points. It's a divisional game. Titans, they know how to beat up on the Colts. I'm going to go the other direction. I'm going to go with the Colts. I feel like they're playing really well as of late. Got to respect what Gardner Minshew's doing. They do not have Jonathan Taylor in this game, but they still have Zach Moss. And Zach Moss has put up a few 100-yard games so far this year. Michael Pittman has been a stud. Don't forget about Josh Downs, the rookie. Like, they have a talented offense, and I think they'll find ways to score against this Titans team that isn't that great right now. They haven't had many wins. Will Levis is still trying to figure it out, trying to be a pro. It's going to be a tough one for the Titans, so that's why I got the Colts. And right now, they're playing at pretty great level right now. You know, they're a playoff team. They're the 7th seed. Didn't think that would be possible, but here we are, and I think they will solidify their playoff spot by beating the Titans. So give me the Colts over the Titans. Let's move on to the next game. We have the Dolphins going up against the Washington Commanders. So with that being said, who do you think is going to win the game?
I got the Dolphins in this game. I do believe if Tommy DeVito could do what they did, the Commanders, Tua, that offense, Mike McDaniel's play calling, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, they should have a field day with them. They should. I wouldn't be surprised if they put up 70 on them too. Now, not that it's going to be that high, but I do think they're going to put up a lot of points. I do have to give Sam Howell credit. I do believe he's been playing good football.
He has.
He has good poise. He's doing well. I do think they have something there with him, and of course they have Terry McLaurin. They do have an intriguing team, and I just don't think Ron Rivera's the answer. Eric Bieniemy might not be the answer as well. Just he's bringing over that Chiefs system that doesn't really benefit, Sam Howell's play style and that offensive line, just because they're not a really good run blocking team and the pass blocking. Sam Howell's been hit the most in the league, taking big quarterback hits. So with all that being said, the Dolphins should take care of them in convincing fashion on Sunday.
I agree. I'm not going to say much about this game because you pretty much delivered on everything, all the good points right there. Dolphins, though, yeah, they're going to beat the Commanders. The Commanders just haven't been that great, and losing 2 games to the Giants when the Giants are supposed to have a bad season is not a good look. I think Ron Rivera is going to be canned by the end of the year. Ownership wants to go in a new direction. Got to respect Sam Howell, though. He has been playing pretty well. So got to give him kudos there. But, yeah, they're just not it right now. I don't know what they're going to do. There's a lot of question marks for that team as well. there's a lot of question marks for a lot of teams. There's going to be a lot of coaches fired. So I think the Commanders, that's one of the teams that will fire their head coach. But yeah, the Dolphins, they're trying to make a playoff push. They're 8-3. Tyreek Hill has been a madman. He is probably going to win Offensive Player of the Year because that's how good he's been. And he's been carrying that Dolphins team, and Tua's been looking pretty good as well. So that being said, me and Justin, we both have the Dolphins over.
We do agree. On Washington real quick, they're going to be an interesting coaching spot. I do think they're going to be one of the more attractive spots just because they have like $89 million in cap space too, and they got a lot of picks to work with next year. So I do think it's going to be an interesting spot, and I do think they need to go offensively. I think a Ben Johnson from Detroit would work really well, or
there you go,
the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins too. Some guy that can help Sam Howell in his development and maybe scheme up some things to get their playmakers more involved, like Terry McLaurin, John Dotson, Curtis Samuel. They do got some pieces, but they do need to clean up some areas. They have some holes to fix. So, so the Commanders are in for a big offseason, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. But like you said, we agree. Dolphins are a more talented, complete team, and they should handle business on Sunday.
There we go. All right. Now, Broncos at Texans. They're both 6-5. The Broncos, they start off a little slow, but they've won 5 straight, which is pretty good for them and Sean Payton and company. Texans, they're 6-5. No one thought they'd be this good with C.J. Stroud and D'Amico Ryans. They made some pretty good changes this offseason. So, who do you think is going to be the better of these two teams this week?
Yeah, this is a tough one. This is actually a tough one. Let me take the Broncos here. I think Russell Wilson, the experience, big game. I think that's going to help. I do like what Sean Payton's doing. They're not telling Russ to, hey, make a play here. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna let him be Russ on third down. They'll let him run the ball. They'll let him throw the ball. They'll let him be him. But they're letting him manage the game. And I do believe the defense has been playing better. But yeah, like it's hard to pick against Stroud right now the way he's been playing. But I do believe that if they have a good game plan to contain Stroud and hold him on defense, I do think the Broncos could edge this one out. I do think they have the talent to put up some points on them, and Sean Payton and the play calling there. It's going to be a really interesting game, though. It should be a close one.
Yeah, I respect that. What you said, Broncos, yeah, they've been playing good. They got the experience and all that. But I think it's time for, C.J. Stroud and company get the job done. The future of the NFL. I think, D'Amico Ryans, he's gonna have a good game plan defensively. Like, he's been great all year, and they're just getting started. First year of the rebuild. I'm really liking the future of what the Texans is going to look like, and it's looking pretty bright. But yeah, the Broncos, they've been good. They won 5 straight. No one thought they were gonna, turn it around the way that they did. So you got to respect that for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna go the other direction. I got the Texans. I got C.J. Stroud and company getting the job done and beating the Broncos. And it should be a fun game. Like, I think it'll be close. They're not going to win convincingly at all, but it should be one of the better games this week. So look out for that one. Now let's transition over.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said definitely a game to tune into.
Oh, yeah. Panthers, Bucks. Who you got?
This one's interesting. Another divisional game in division. I think the Panthers will come out playing hard. I do think sometimes when you go through changes, you fire the head coach, you fire all these coaches. I do think that motivates the players a little bit, right? Makes them want to play a little bit harder. But with that being said, I don't know if the talent's there. I do think the Mike Evans, Chris Godwin on offense will be a little bit too much for the Panthers defense to handle. I do believe Todd Bowles' defense will get after Bryce Young a little bit. The offensive line for the Panthers, probably one of the worst in the NFL. So I do think they'll come out and play hard, but I do think Buccaneers win, but don't be surprised if it's a little bit closer than you think. But I got the Buccaneers edging this one out.
Yeah, I don't trust the Panthers to win this game right now. You just fired Frank Reich. Who they promote? Their special teams coordinator to be their head coach, right? I think.
I
I could be
believe
wrong.
so.
If you don't know, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
I,
Because they got rid of Josh McCown. He's no longer on the staff. They got rid of Deuce Staley. He's no longer on the staff. So, like, you're getting a guy in the special teams coordinator that we don't even know who he is. I don't think he's going to be a competent coach to lead this team out there and beat a divisional opponent with the Bucs. And the Bucs, they have a good roster. They just have been playing tough teams, and they just haven't been able to find ways to win as of late. But, this presents an opportunity for them to beat up on a team that is the worst team in the league so far this year. I think they will do so. I like what the Bucs have been doing. Like, offensively, you still got weapons like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White. Like, they have the playmakers to beat up on this crappy Panthers team. And right now, I don't feel like the Panthers are in a place to win this game. Everything, their backs are against the wall, and they're just not going to win this game. I don't see any chance they win this game. Watch them win this game because I said that. But it's okay. It's okay. I have the Bucs over the Panthers, and I don't think it'll be close. I think the Bucs will beat up on them. So that's my little input on that. Let's move over to the next game. We got the Browns going up against the Rams. Browns. Joe Flacco might be playing this game. There's a chance that DTR is out with a concussion.
Ooh.
So I don't know. Are the Rams good enough to beat Joe Flacco right now? That is the question. So what do you think?
That Browns defense is pretty good. I do think it comes down to that.
It is.
If it is Flacco going, then I think with his veteran experience, he should be able to put enough points on the Rams defense to win the game. Now the Rams do have good playmakers. They do have Puka Nacua has been kind of the breakout surprise. They have Cooper Kupp and all those guys still. Kyron's back. He played a great game last week. It's tough, but I'm going to go with Cleveland on this one. I just think Myles Garrett could get after Matt Stafford. The line's not the best. And as long as Joe Flacco puts enough points up, he still has Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper to go to. And I do think Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. He does do well on the offensive side. So give me the Browns at this one.
Yeah, I don't trust the Rams right now to beat up on a good defense like the Browns right now. But Myles Garrett, he might be actually not playing in this game. I do remember that his arm was in a sleeve last time I checked on social media. I got a report from Ian Rappaport. And I'm like, that's interesting. But even if you're missing Myles Garrett, I still feel like you could still beat the Rams because your defense is that good. So I do have the Browns winning against the Rams on Sunday. Now, let's talk about the game of the week. Niners, Eagles. It's going to be a good one. This is a preview of the NFC Championship game, I believe. It's a rematch of last year. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the nine. No, I'm going with the Eagles here.
No, you were so close. No.
I'm going with the Eagles. I think it's a home game. I do believe the forecast is calling for some rain. I do think that helps out the Eagles. Now, I don't think they can come out slow. I do think they have to get DeAndre Swift going a little bit early in this game. They've been kind of defaulting to have him go in the second half. I don't know if they're trying to save him for the playoffs and not give him such a big workload because he's been effective. I don't know if that's playing into their strategy a little bit. But I think that the Eagles start off strong and they don't wait into the second half for Jalen Hurts to pull themselves out of the mud, so to speak. I think the Eagles do win this game. It is tough. They have to contain McCaffrey too. They do have to do a better job on the tight ends. The tight ends have been doing well against us too, so they have to watch out for Kittle and the explosive plays to Samuel and Ayuk. But San Fran's come in this game with a lot of emotion. All the offseason talk about, if we had a quarterback, we would have won. So we'll see if they come out if they play with more emotion instead of poise. I think that can get to their heads a little bit. But I don't know. I think if the Eagles stay composed and they play hard, it's going to be a physical game. I do think the Eagles edge just one out. I don't see anyone blowing out each other. I think they're the top two teams in the conference, if not the NFL right now. So, going to be one of the games of the year. Give me the Eagles in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been 50-50 on either team right now. But I'll say this. If the Eagles play like they did in the second half of that Bills game, and for all 4 quarters, they will beat the 49ers. If the Eagles start out slow against this Niners team, you're not coming back because this Niners team is that good. So I'm going to say I don't know who to pick. Like, it depends on that scenario I just gave you. But I got to say this. The Niners, they went out, they got a guy, and Chase Young. I feel like having both Chase Young and Nick Bosa will be a tough matchup for this Eagles team to stop. I know they have the pieces to do it, but as of late, these teams like the Chiefs and the Bills have been able to generate pressure. And I would say the Niners D-line has a better D-line than both of those teams. So I feel like they might get to Hurts. And if they do, they win this game. If they don't, the Eagles win this game. So I don't know. I'm 50-50 right now. If I had to pick, what's probably going to happen is the Eagles are going to win this game. So I'm just going to say that. The Eagles are going to win this game because they have proven me wrong time and time again this year. So I will pick the Eagles to win this game if they can do what they did in the second half against the Bills and against the Chiefs for all 4 quarters against a juggernaut in the 49ers. So you got to have everything go right for all 4 quarters for you to win this game. And I think they get the job done. I do. I don't want to say that because, I'm a Giants fan and all that. But what I've seen from them lately, if they could do that, they will win this game. And if they lose this game, they will see them again and know how to beat them in the NFC Championship game. So keep that in mind. I feel like they will see each other again.
So they might not show all their cards is what they're saying. They play each other in the playoffs. So defensively, they might not show their hands, so to speak, on how they're going to guard everyone. So for both sides, because that
exactly
potential NFC Championship rematch.
This will be game of the week. I do have the Eagles winning. I just don't like saying that, but I do have the Eagles winning. It's just hard to say. All right. Now, with that being said, let's talk about this great game Sunday night. We got the Chiefs going up against the Packers. Who you got?
Yeah. I do have to shout out Jordan Love. He played a great game against the Lions last week. Balled up on Thanksgiving. Played well. Showed some signs of Aaron Rodgers there. Just a little sidearm throws, looking off the safeties. It was good. I do think they might have a little something there with Jay Love. But with that being said, who's on the other side? The best player in the NFL, Patty Mahomes. Last week for them, they unlike the Eagles, they're like the opposite of the Eagles, where the Eagles come out strong in the second half. The Chiefs are a great first half team, and then for whatever reason this year they just don't put up any points in the second half. But last week they didn't. They were down to Oakland. They came back and they put up, I believe,
Vegas.
like around 17 points in the second half, and they closed the deal there. So give me the Chiefs, and that defense is for real. The coaching of they have Andy Reid coaching. They got Spags calling the defense. They got Chris Jones, Kelsey. I think they'll do it. They'll do the job. In Mahomes' first game in Lambeau.
I did not know that. Fun little fact. But yeah, I got the Chiefs. I think they're going to beat up on the Packers. Chiefs, they are still one of the best teams in AFC. Packers, they're respectable. Jordan Love, I don't know if he's a franchise guy, but he's shown some flashes so far this year. Will they give him another contract? I don't know. If you got a good pick and you want a quarterback, you can easily move off of him. Like, I don't feel like he's that good of a quarterback right now. He's at the tier of a bridge quarterback, but he could, if he wins this game and starts winning some more to end the season, they'll change their evaluation on him and might keep him. So who knows? It's a true test for Jordan Love and his future if you beat this Chiefs team. But we have the Chiefs beating the Packers on Sunday night. Now, I believe this is the last game of the week. Let's double check. Yeah. Monday night.
Game.
Monday night, we got the Bengals and the Joe Burrow-less Bengals going up against the Jaguars. With that being said, Justin, who do you have winning this game?
Yeah, like kind of what I said with the Steelers take, the Bengals have kind of their defense is kind of giving up a lot of explosive plays, and Trevor Lawrence has been playing pretty consistently well this year. So I'm going to home game for them too. I'm going to roll with the Jags. Now, if they had Joe Burrow, completely different story. He's not there. Jake Browning's the guy. They still have Jamar Chase. They still got playmakers there. But I do believe, though, if the Jaguars can contain Joe Mixon on defense and make Jake Browning beat you, then I think that's a good recipe to win. And I do think the defense can be a little bit had with, even though I do think Lou Anarumo is doing a good job with that defense and is a head coaching candidate potentially. I do think the Jags had just won out, being at home, having Calvin Ridley, having Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, and they've been playing well, ETN. I do think the Jaguars get this done and prove why they are to be had. They're going to win the AFC South and prove themselves to be a top AFC team this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just feel like the Bengals don't have enough because Joe Burrow is not there, and the offense is good, but you need the guy to steer the ship, and he's not there. Your franchise quarterback. It sucks that he's out for the season, but, it just lets reality set in that you got to find ways to protect your quarterback, and you got to invest in that this offseason. He's been dealing with the calf. He's been dealing with his wrist. You got to find ways to protect your star quarterback if you want to be, holding up that trophy in February. So you got to find ways to do that if you want to be a, successful NFL franchise. But yeah, the Jags, man, you got to respect them. Got to respect what Doug Peterson's been doing. He's changed the culture since he's gotten there. Urban Meyer wasn't the guy, and he flipped the script. And now look at Trevor Lawrence. He's looking great. He's looking like a top 10 quarterback right now.
Good coach for sure.
Yeah, he's a great coach. I would say Doug Peterson's a top 10 coach right now. So I feel like the Jags, they should win this game. I don't see them on upset alert, and I think they will get the job done on Monday Night Football. So that is it for your Week 13 predictions. Thank you guys for joining. Once again, thank you for Justin for joining me today. He will be the new co-host on Benchwire from here on out. So yeah, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check the link tree. We got a lot of social media shit in there. We got all the links. We're going to be posting more and more because I'm taking over. So from here on out, Benchwire will be better. I hope. Now we got Justin. We're going to be superior. I don't know. All in all,
yes. I got to fill that shoes, though. Those are big shoes to fill. Those are big shoes to fill. So I hope to do my job well.
Yes, you do. But yes, thank you guys for joining. We'll catch you guys later. Benchwire.
Out.